Well, when you start the race, you feel like you're going way too easy, even in like a sprint distance, which is like really short, only lasts an hour. But it's like you feel like you're not trying hard enough. But if you do go like the effort that you think you need to in the beginning, it's like you're cooked. So, and then like in the middle of the race, maybe when you're on the bike, it feels fine still. You can still push pretty good power, but then at the end when you get off, like those first steps coming off the bike, those are something different. I'm Jeffrey Liu, and I want to be an Ironman age group champion before graduating high school. So I've been a swimmer for about 12 years. So I've been swimming most of my life. When I started doing it, that if I like move into triathlon fully, as I've decided to do now, it would be kind of a waste of 12 years, right? But I think my talents lie mostly in triathlon and less in swimming, because I'm not that great of a swimmer, even with 12 years of training. A lot of swimming is about talent. I think that's less so for triathlon. It is a little bit of a shame to be throwing all that away, but I think also in the end the reward is, at least for triathlon, for me, is greater.
My name is Miss Bastion. I teach advanced chemistry and AP chemistry. I have had the pleasure of having Jeffrey in class for the last 2 years. He was a student in my advanced chemistry class and my AP chemistry class. He first told me about swimming, I guess last year when he was in my class, and he found out my daughter was swimming. And so he was like, "Oh, I swim too." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And so that was interesting. For the last 2 Christmases, he has been one of the few students who will handwrite me a letter. He always tells me about the things he likes about class, the things he doesn't like, how his athletic career is going, and all that other things. I was able to read about how he is able to balance his workload with AP chemistry and training for his triathlon. I was very shocked because I didn't realize he was doing as much as he was doing, but it also makes sense why he would come to class and he's like a mill and he's like shoving it down, because I'm like, oh, he's exerting a lot of energy now. It makes sense. I'm gonna be honest, when I found that out, I was like, how are you like breathing? Because it really is. Like for this class alone, and I think the way that he studies, I think it takes a certain dedication. I'm like trying to imagine him balancing that with everything else, and swim and training and all of this, and then he's like doing well with this. And I'm like, okay, I'm not surprised, but at the same time, like, what is your life? He's always asked questions. And so one of the things that he dislikes about AP chemistry is that there are so many exceptions. And so he's one to challenge the exceptions. He's like, that doesn't make sense, but he has data to back it up. And then he wants me to explain why his why is not correct. And so that's always interesting, because I love that he still is able to push himself outside of the box, but at the same time, sometimes it's so high. I'm like, Jeffrey, that isn't even, like, you're bending in physics and I don't live there. I have no idea what you're talking about.
So right now, in my junior year, I'm taking BC Calculus, Physics C, AP Chemistry, and then APUSH and AP Lang together in Amstud. As well, I'm also self-studying for Physics 2 and Chinese. I think science is something that's really valuable, and also it's like pretty applicable to triathlon as well. Maybe even one of the reasons why I want to do it is because I want to sort of apply those things that we've learned through science in a systematic way to make myself better. I don't think anyone really tells me to keep going or keep having the schedule. I think actually a lot of people say I'm doing too much and like maybe I should back off a bit. But yeah, I think any motivation has to come from within. If you don't want to do it, then you're not going to do it. As far as at least going to swim practice, the threat of having an absence is enough for me. And then also, I don't want to disappoint my coach. But besides that, something else that I really value is just talking to people. I think that helps me. I feel like if I didn't talk to a lot of people, I would probably not be the place where I am right now.
Initially, when I first met Jeffrey, I I would brag to Miss McCurley all the time about how he was just different from most of my higher performing students. And it was always really kind of chill until one day I walked in and he was giving somebody a haircut in the back of my room during passing period. And I was like, what is happening? And so then it kind of built from there with piggyback rides and other random things that they would do when I would get to class. It was interesting. Like, I would come in the room and he would walk in. He had a green balloon and he decided, he was like, Miss Passion, this is I forget the balloon's name, I'm gonna be honest, but he hung it from the camera and he was like, he is now a student of your class. Oh, and I tried to take it down and he was like, you're gonna hurt his feelings. And I was like, what is happening? You need the humor to some extent, right? And so having personalities in the class is definitely a break in the ice that we need. It's a good thing. He is like a diamond that is rare because I don't know many. Like, I always tell people you have strengths and weaknesses, right? I don't know what Jeffrey's weaknesses are.
After college, after undergrad, I want to get a PhD in something because that's one of the requirements to be an astronaut. And I'll probably move into academia. You have to be a world-class academic, but then from then on, I'll be applying to be an astronaut every year. And I probably won't get in the first time or the second time, but I'll just keep applying until I get in. So that's my plan for the future. My advice is when you're down, like the only thing you can do is just keep going. Just don't give up. A lot of people in my place right now, in high school, see a couple options available for extracurriculars and they just take them. There's certain programs that you can do that are recommended to you early on that you devote your time to. I would say it's probably not worth your time. Do something that you actually care about, that is actually distinctive, even if it doesn't pan out. Just something unique that you really care about.